So, Bryn, I'm so excited about this. We have been playing her music for 3 years. I mean, just so much. We love Kat Edmonson, and we have
Yes.
her on the phone with us.
I
How exciting is
know.
that?
Hey, Kat.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
we do love your music so much. We play you on our show a lot, but we also listen to you a lot when we're just hanging around.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. It's just so good, going back to some of the first projects all the way up to the new things, and we just love it. And wow, I just want to hear from you. I could yammer on and on because we love your music so much. But I know you're a Texas girl originally. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So
Houston, Texas is where
all
I was born.
all right. Where it's nice and hot.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, but I know you've been all over the place now, but yeah, I mean, you kind of started doing clubs and things around, I'm assuming maybe the Austin area. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I moved there when I was 19.
Yeah. Yeah, and so there are clips even from some of the early things that we've seen, and it just so you've done this. I mean, were you making music before that? Like, did you grow up making music?
Oh, in my bedroom. My mom bought me a tape deck and a microphone and let me, sing to my heart's content in my room. And I would write songs. I started writing songs as a child. I was an only child, and so it was a way that I would entertain myself. And I was also just inspired by music that I was hearing, and I was naturally writing tunes at a very early age. And so music was mine. I felt I had ownership of it.
Yes.
So when it came time to collaborate with other people, it was easy. It was like making conversation about something really well.
Yes, yes. Well, a lot of your songs come across that way as conversation, and I immediately think of Old Fashioned Gal, where you're just basically talking about where we are, right now. But you're an old fashioned gal, and you're just even that video, you're just it's like you're with friends, and it's conversational, And I love that. I love that style of writing that you have.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that in particular is quite inspired by early musicals, and
Yes.
I didn't go to a lot of musicals when I was a kid living in Houston, but I watched the old pictures that were made after the Broadway musicals, and so much of that is explaining where you're at in the plot of the story, and so that's really what that's born from. And I was so frustrated with my life feeling like it was turning so much to social media at that point, and all of this time that I was spending in this medium that I wasn't quite comfortable with, and I just started a sort of complaint letter in the form of a song.
Yeah. Well, you going against the grain like that, and being present in where you are. I mean, it comes across in your music. It really does. Yeah. It's great. Now you mentioned old musicals because I know that you love television from, not television, but film from that era, of like you mentioned, maybe early to mid 20th century film. And we do too. We're like freaks about it.
We
love it. And we always play a clip or something during our show, and at least one.
Yeah.
But so when you say early musicals, I mean, what were you drawing on when you first started your career, and maybe even now that really inspired you?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I was watching old MGM musicals and RKO pictures and, the Fred and Ginger movies, a lot of Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds.
Yes.
Those Danny Kaye, Bing Crosby. Did I say him already? So a lot, these folks I just loved. And I was also watching regularly. I would watch Nick at Night, which on television, which was showing at the time, stuff from the 50s, like My Three Sons, and Patty Duke and Dobie Gillis, and shows like that.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could say I kind of grew up in that era in like the 1950s because I was absorbing so much of that culture.
Yes.
And then my mom was playing that music around the house, and so it was really second nature to me. And at the time, I was born in 1983, so my friends were all listening to Prince and Madonna. And like, and I thought, like, oh, these kids are listening to this new music, but like I'm much more related to the old stuff.
You're an old soul.
We all have a lot of
oh my gosh, you're just preaching you're preaching to the choir. This is exactly. And we love the film and the television too. Some of our guests we've had some incredible music guests like yourself, but we've also had Keith Thibodeau, Little Ricky, and Richie Petrie from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
I mean, saw that.
Yeah, so we love doing that, and so that's why we really wanted to connect with you, because we know that you're an old soul like that, and it's just wonderful.
Yes, and I have seen every episode of Andy Griffith's Show, I Love Lucy, and the Dick Van Dyke Show more than I think like 2 times through.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh,
that's the good stuff. Yeah,
she's just a kindred spirit to
I know.
I know. I feel like we should all have lunch. After this.
Yeah. Hey,
well, that explains why we just love her so much.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I love it.
Kat, we had Zuzu from It's a Wonderful Life on our show.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know she loves that movie. She loves all these things.
I do.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love Frank Capra.
Yeah. Indeed. Need more of that.
That's right. That's right.
Well, so we know that you've got a lot going on, and we've been listening, to all your stuff through the years, the last several years, but we know you've got brand new stuff as well, and we'd love to talk to you about that. Now, not necessarily brand new, but you do have brand new, but we also know about Dreamers Do, and we've played lots of cuts from that album, and that album just has been just so successful for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It came out at an unfortunate time at the beginning of 2020, and so in the midst of promoting it, I had to kind of fold up my tent and go home. But despite that, the record just kind of took off and was received really well. And I'm not surprised. It's comprised mostly of Disney songs from the mid 20th century, and that's really like the Disney movies that I love. Were the early films. And so I covered a lot of those songs on the topic of dreams and dreaming at a time in my life when I was wondering what it is to dream, and especially when you're an adult, like what does that turn into? What does it mean? And I think a lot of people identified with it, which I was thrilled about.
Yes.
It's a very personal record.
Yes. And it now that was like a #1 jazz album, correct? On the Billboard charts. Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and well deserved.
Yeah, it certainly resonated with us as dreamers and so many others, So yeah, it's just a great project, and love that album cover. As a matter of fact, we're going to buy one of those posters.
Yeah,
we
want
get one.
A poster on our website.
Yeah, that's so cool. You can get posters.
I'll send you one. Yeah.
Well, that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Would you sign it for us too?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we'll put it right up here in the studio.
Yes, we sure will.
Yeah, we just love the idea that you've got posters, and again, that's sort of a throwback a little bit, which is a beautiful thing. It's such a nice touch. Yeah,
it is.
Well, I love the movies. I think they're my first love. Music to me is when it at its best. To me, is the soundtrack to the moving pictures, and then of course I walk around all dreamy eyed, like it's the soundtrack to my life. So I wanted to make a poster that looked like a poster for a film.
Yes.
It does.
It really does.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Yes. Now your new music, you have 2 singles out right now, and we've been listening to them. You want to tell us about The Line?
Yes, The Line. I wrote it over 10 years ago, I think, and I had come out of a very serious relationship, and I spent some time alone. I met this wonderful guy, but I was scared to get back into a relationship because my previous one, had just, there were a lot of things wrong with it, and so I felt protective, and I was having all of these feelings about this new guy, and I didn't know if it was, safe to just be myself and let him be himself. And actually, the end of the story is we've been together for 13 years, so it's all worked out really well. But
love that. Yeah.
But it's a song about trusting, and it's very intimate, and I filmed a music video for it it's quite intimate as well. It's just kind of, the camera's just hanging on me, going around the house singing
it's a great
sort
video.
of vulnerable way. Thank you.
Yeah. We just watched it right before the show, and we will be spinning that song tonight.
We will be spinning that song this evening. We sure will on Swanky Southern Nights.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's we talked about it before we got you on the phone, and we had read somewhere where this was deeply personal to you, and we're like, should we ask her about that? So we're glad you told us.
Yeah,
about
thank you
that.
for sharing that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love getting personal, frankly. I always want to get to the meat of everything,
Yeah. Well, that's why you connect so well.
What are we wasting time for?
Absolutely.
No small talk. Yes. They don't do that in the old movies.
No.
They get right into it.
To the point.
They get right to it, see?
They have to. They're only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Love it.
I love it.
And you've got Keep Moving as well, which is another single. So can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, that one's really personal too. I lost my mom last year, my wonderful mother who introduced me to all of these old movies and music, and I was just standing in my living room one day full of grief, and I heard this song. I tell people when songs come to me, it's quite divine, so it feels like they're just coming to me over some like pirate radio, and then I just try and tune in as best I can,
Yes.
Like, what is that sound that's playing? I get really quiet, I get really still, and in this case I had the piano nearby, so I sat down and just started plunking my hands down on some chords, and the song just sort of, as they do, it sort of wrote itself. But I really felt, I had this sense that it was my mom, and so the lyrics are go on and live again. I know you're lonely from the pain you're in, but it's time to get going. You got to keep moving. This is this the chorus.
Yeah.
And that's who she was. She was always positive. And if I wasn't, if I got bogged down in life, my mom would just very matter-of-factly just go, Catherine, keep it moving, okay? And she was just buoyant and perky and just the manifestation of joy in my life. And so I felt that gift, come from beyond.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Now, did she have that delightful voice like you do too?
Yeah.
Because you just quoted her.
Yeah, I got it from her. And she had the most beautiful, chirping, speaking voice, and then her singing voice was actually kind of smoky. She sounded a lot like Peggy Lee. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yes. I listened to that song for the first time, I think last week when we got in touch with your management to set this interview up. So I listened to it, and I heard it at just the right time in my life. So I want to thank you for putting your music out there like that, because I know it touches a lot of people, but I can say it definitely got to me, and I needed to hear it the other night.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's why I make it in hopes that it touches you, and I'm thrilled that it did. Thank you.
It's touching a lot of people too. Yeah, all of your music is. It sure is. And now, we were looking on your tour, and do you get back to Tennessee much to do anything? I didn't see anything.
I wish I did. I've come and played City Winery about 3 times. In Nashville, and I played Third and Lindsley.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great place to play.
And I'd love to go back there and play sometime. I don't make it there enough, and I'm gonna call out my agents right now. You guys need to get me to Nashville.
Bring Kat to Tennessee.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Indeed. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, we absolutely love your music. We're going to be spending some of it this evening on Swanky Southern Nights.
Yes.
And katedmondson.com is the place to find all the good stuff. Her music, her posters.
Yes, and follow her on socials because she's
Yes.
very interactive with her crowd, her friends there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kat.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thanks, y'all. I feel like I could talk to you all day. I know we have so much in common. It's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yes, come to Nashville.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Or maybe we need to go to
Okay.
Austin or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I love that area.
Well, I'm in New York now. I live in upstate New York. I moved.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so do you, that's sort of your home base and your HQ,
Yes.
basically? Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, I know you work with a lot of folks from Austin. That's why I mentioned that, because I know that you've done duets with Lyle and Ray Benson and the boys and different things. So I'm assuming you still get back to Texas some to do some of that stuff, right?
I do at least once a year, if not more, and I go down to play with Asleep at the Wheel sometimes. But,
Love it.
yeah, that's where I met Lyle and Ray and
Yeah.
a lot of guys down there, and it was a wonderful place to get my start. I moved in 2010 to New York City so that my career was growing pretty quickly then, and there was a lot of infrastructure that just didn't exist in Austin at the time. Of course, everybody knows it's all there now, but so I moved, and also, New York City is where all the standards
Yes.
were written,
Yeah, the Brill
essentially, and I
Building and all
wanted to
that
go be a
stuff.
part
Yeah.
of that.
Yes, right, close to the Brill Building. And also, I've heard that you've been doing some like off Broadway stuff. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I studied acting, and I got the opportunity to be in a musical a couple years ago, and that was a thrill. That was so fun. I hope to do more of that.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes.
Definitely. That's so cool. Yes, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Kat. We just so appreciate you and your music, and thank you for being on Swanky Southern Nights with
Yes.
Bryn and myself.
Yes,
this evening.
thank you. You are awesome.
Oh, thank you, and I look forward to tuning into the show.
Yes.
I'm sorry that I wasn't totally aware that you were playing me, and now you're on my map. And thank you so much.
Aw,
Good,
thank
good.
you.
All right. Well, take care. We'll be talking to you soon, I hope.
All right.
All right.
All right, bye.